Good morning, everybody. Jeopardizing with StartupTrading.com. It is 9:06 here. I gotta sneeze. Thank you. Ugh. Excuse me, I should say. Trade plan for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. What a day we had on that prior day. We are set up in a same anchor new high extension as we go into the day. As a reminder, higher time frame here. We have this full halfway back short, which yesterday when I was on the mic, one of the last things I said is we're probably going to rally till we get there. Now, the last time the ES sold off, it sold off from the 50% retracements. I'm not going to rule out that it is a possibility that this could sell off from here. I don't know what the world will look like or what the headlines will be if that ends up being the case, but we are in technically a short setup that eventually over the next month I definitely would like to see break. If I were to guess, I would think we'd get back up towards like 58.15s before really breaking down. Uh, but those lows from this week are definitely in for a while at this point in time. And as we were coming out of yesterday's sequence higher, we began an extension, which is a Fibonacci sequence drawn from a high to a high, and we've just gone down and retested that low, or sorry, this anchor again. It is from the 115 high to the high, and we traded it here like right after the announcement. We came down, retested, completed targets. We then had a same anchor new high, traded its 38% retracement going into the close. That completed targets, and now this same anchor new high, which gives us a 50% at 53.68 area, has traded multiple times. It also lines up with our upper mid indicator, the orange line here lines up perfectly with that level. The upside target of this move would be 5,600. And if that completes, I would totally take longs off the table for a bit, let it pull back. When we had completed these targets, it takes some time, but we eventually roll over. But today, if we're in a continuation sequence from the prior day, and we immediately start seeing this market bid above the prior day's high, bid above that 5,500 level, start to anticipate us to move up to 5,600 today. Just your casual 600-point move in the Nas or the S&P. Gosh, is that even? I don't know if we're gonna get that high now that I'm thinking about like 600 points. Gosh, I mean, I guess that's or no, sorry, that's not 600 points. It's 200 points. It's 5,600. My math is off. So yeah, 200 points. I was gonna say 600 points makes no sense. 200 points above us. 5,600 would be that profit target. Now, if we go and start losing the low here today, I'm not sure I know where support is. I would think we'd eventually maybe get down to the midpoint. I would not be bottom picking whatsoever if we start losing like 53.50 with momentum. I'm just going to let it play. I'll probably be digging into shorts at that point in time, waiting for the setups. We're going to have to watch the market develop. And I would anticipate really a move maybe back down to like Perry was talking about those single prints getting hit. So we got like the beginning of at least this 5 minute. I'd have to look at the 30 minute to go over the levels he said, but I think we get down to like 52.75 pretty quick. If anything, if we do not get a bid off this open, and that'll just be something I'll have to pay attention to as the market develops, because there's really no way to know that in advance. There's sequences we have going into the morning, and right now those need the overnight lows to hold in order to remain. You have for the Nasdaq here, very similar setup. You got that upper mid, the orange line here, the Fibonacci anchor I'm using determine the trend at this point in time is going to be the high of 115. So 115, out in the afternoon, traded multiple times, traded our 50%. We've rotated up into what is the European session open high to low. If we can break above that, the upside target here, which is on the table for today, 19,700 would be a continuation of the trend of yesterday. Doesn't mean the trend of yesterday will hold, but if it does, 19,700 is going to be your profit target. And, wouldn't be surprised to see that trade. That would almost be 1,000 points, which is half of yesterday's move. Yesterday was over 2,000, so 1,000 point profit target from this overnight entry of the upper mid. But if we lose that upper mid, I am not going to be playing picking bottoms here. I don't know where they will be. This is kind of that support I'm anticipating that needs to hold. But with that being said, I'll share these levels with you guys in the room, and then I'll jump on the squawk uh, when the market opens. And then for those of you guys who are new here with wealth charts, I keep getting asked. I don't. I like wealth chart software, but I have created my own indicators that I'm in the process of moving over, and so I will not be using wealth chart software on my screen share until I get or unless I get my indicators moved over. So if you're expecting me to share wealth chart software, that's not going to happen. So I'll take care of the rest of you guys in the room,